It's your boy Wiz Capone, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about artists that I grew up on in the UK. So the first artist I'm going to start off by saying is Johnny Guns. Come on, like Johnny Guns. Like anyone that knows me knows that Johnny Guns is my favorite artist of all time, innit? You get me? I remember back in school, people were Bluetoothing each other. The tune Fresh Home. Obviously, for those of you that don't know about that tune Fresh Home, go and listen to that, innit? You get me? Because that's literally one of UK's, not even one of UK's, it is UK's anthem, innit? Alongside Giggs' Talking Your Hardest, innit? You get me? Those two, Johnny Guns, Fresh Home, and Giggs Talking the Hardest, for me anyway, me personally, I think that's UK's two, like, anthems, you get me? Not even just Fresh Home, but you had tunes like Put the Gun to Ya, you had, flipping, what's another one? Yeah, he's hands on your gun tune. He had go grab the burner. Like Johnny Guns is like literally like, for me, he's a pioneer for me, innit? You get me? He's one of the legends in this thing, innit? You get me? And for me personally speaking, I feel like he's my goal, innit? You get me? So yeah, I'm gonna start off by saying Johnny Guns, big up yourself each and every time, Johnny Guns, innit? You know who you are, man. And secondly is Joe Black. Obviously Joe Black's from North, innit? And obviously where I lived at the time was in N5, innit? So obviously I grew up on Joe Black's like music, literally. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, man, I was listening to tunes like his Pound Gang tune with like Tall Man, Propane, and you get me, like, and all these lot, like even Hunt as well, he's cold as well, like he's another one, you get me, that I was listening to at the time. And obviously they were representing Islington, Highbury, you know what I mean? So it's like raw, like someone that's actually like putting our ends on the map, innit? Putting Islington on the map basically. You get me? Shout out the next pick as well is man like Giggs, innit? You get me? Man grew up on Giggs' music from tunes like obviously the bait tune, Talking the Hardest, which everyone knows. Pain is the Essence. He had like bare bangers with like dubs and that. You get me? Even his tune with Gunna D as well. Snitches in the station, leaving letters like the mailman. Bitch niggas pointing fingers like they just got their nails done. Come on, man. If you know, you know. You get me? And he had tunes like 28 Grams, which was also featuring Gunna D and all of that. He had like he also has like legendary mixtapes like Hard Bodied, Walk in the Park, like another quick one. He's got like many good mixtapes, so that's like to solidify his catalogue. To me, Giggs has got one of the best catalogues, if not the best catalogue. You get me? So cool. Next one is Colours Miyagi. Man grew up on Colours Miyagi differently, like, you get me? One of his tunes that I grew up listening to was KCO Can Colours Miyagi. The tune was called Game Salt. Fucking banger, like literally I used to bang that like religiously, like differently. You get me? He also had another tune called Rap Game. Then he had another freestyle on Rap City back in the day that got taken down. I used to bang that on a regular as well. Big up yourself each and every time, Colours Miyagi. You get me? Next person on the list is KCO Can It. Obviously, I grew up listening to KCO in secondary school, innit? So I would say like the beginning of year 8, like either the beginning of year 8 or halfway through year 8, I started listening to him. I was listening to his tunes like he's Fire in the Booth, I Ain't Perfect, Block Life, flipping his tune with Rita Ora, which came like later on, but he had like so many bangers that I could relate to, in it. So you get me? That's why I grew up on someone like KCO, Can It? Because he literally used to spit real shit. You get me? So yeah, next on my list is Timber. He's got a tune, yeah, that I used to bang. I even bang it now. It's called Home of the Murderers, isn't it? That tune there is cold. Like I literally know that tune inside out, bruv. You get me? Then he's got Couple other bangers on Streets Wanna Know, which was a platform on in UK rap, a very big platform back in the day. You get me? And yeah, man, he had a tune called 48 Bars as well. Very cold. You get me? So big up yourself, Timber, man. Next on my list is Benny Banks. Don't even get me started with Benny Banks, fam. So the tunes that made me listen to Benny Banks was tunes like Peace of Mind. What can I even say? Peace of Mind. His warm-up sessions. His tune called Banging and Squeezing from back in the day. I think that dropped in like 010, 011. You get me? Ride or Die. There's so many other tunes. I can literally be here for days talking about Benny Banks, because he's one of the GOATs in this UK thing, innit? Let's be real. Next on the list is man like Young's Teflon. Yeah? If you know, you know. I remember he has a tape called Call of Duty. Like, I think it was the first one. That whole tape is disgustingly sick, bruv. Cold. Literally, track to track, from start to finish. Every tune on there is proper. You get me? And I'll actually go back today. That's how you know his music's got longevity, because you can even bang it now. You get it? He even had tunes like Gladiators Part 2. A tune called even his tune he done with 6-7 Nando's, which came a bit later. Like, not even a bit later, but it came much more later. But yeah, like, long story short, like, Young's Teflon is one of the OGs in this thing, innit? So I'm gonna give him his flowers now, innit? Because certain people, they won't give you your flowers now, but they'll give you your flowers later when you die, innit? Me, I'm not that guy, innit? I'll just give people their flowers when they deserve it. Get me? When they're alive and that. Cool. So yeah, this one, I'm going off a bit of, like, I'm going down under like UK rap. This is more like UK grime. Obviously, he's got his similarities, but it's a bit different, because with grime, it's got different tempos, different flows, and all of that. Even though essentially, in a way, it's kind of the same thing. At the end of the day, it's rap, innit? You get me? So yeah, Chipmunk. Obviously, he's another one that was representing the ends, representing North London and that. I grew up on his tunes like Fire Ally, Muhammad Ali. He had tunes that he was doing with Shallow back in the day as well. What other tunes did Chipmunk have? So Sophisticated. I'm Screaming North Side, Birth Me. I'm Never Switching Sides. I Ain't Van Persie. Them tunes there. If you know, you know. And another artist that I've put on my list is a man like Aussie B. You get me? Everybody that knows that tune Oi in More Fire Crew, everybody knows Aussie B's verse in that tune makes that tune. Obviously, everybody's verse in that tune was like very good, but in that tune especially, Aussie B set pace in that tune differently. And he also had a tune like solo thing in it called Maybe Ting. Goes, these days it's a maybe ting. Everybody say maybe ting. Forget peace is a definite ting. Everybody say maybe ting. I don't kill me, bruv. Man like Aussie B, you know, real legend in this thing. Then you have man like D-double-E. Bro, don't even get me started on D-double-E, you know, because D-double-E, yeah, he can literally shut down concerts, yeah, without even spraying bars. All you have to say is ooh, ooh, and Billy Bap Bap, and it's moi, moi. You know when my man says that, you know it's a shutdown, you get me? From time, he doesn't even need to say lyrics, yeah, and he says that, and it goes crazy. You know he's very influential to the scene, innit? You get it? But yeah, so I grew up on tunes from D-double-E like Frontline. You get me? Frontline's a very big tune. If you know your grime, go and research that tune, Frontline, and listen to it and take it in. Because that tune there, D-double-E is talking stuff. Like chattings. You get me? So yeah, man, big up D-double-E each and every time. So another artist I want to big up from the grime scene as well is a man like Flirty D. You get me? He was in the group LSK from back in the day, and if you know your grime, you would know he was in a group from back in the day. Yeah, Flirty D, very, very influential to the grime scene, innit? Like, Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Flirty D, each and every time. Bearman. Listen, Bearman. Those of you that know grime like that, everybody till this day now, as we speak, people are thinking, raw. What happened to Bearman? Like, he doesn't make music no more, rare tear, including myself, innit? Because I'm not gonna lie, Donny's very talented, bro. Like, at the time, I wouldn't say he was top 10, but I would say he was easily one of the best in grime at the time, innit? And I feel like he should make a return, innit? But obviously, for whatever reason, I don't know if he may be going through things in his life. So obviously, who am I to say for him to come back and that? But for me personally, he made a very big impact on the grime scene, innit? To me, he's one of the grime legends, easily. Cool. So moving on back to UK rap here. Next person on my list is Mover. So with Mover, he had tunes like Weed Pack. What do you call it? He's tuned with Timbo, which was a bit later. But yeah, like I grew up on his tune. He's got another tune called Crime Hood, another banger. Rilla Music. You get me? He's got one, and then he's got a part 2 as well. Called, I suggest you go take that in. If you don't know that tune, go type in Rilla Music 1, Rilla Music 2, and go and take that in. Goes crazy. You get me? Next person on my list, man, like Potter Paper. This one here, like one of the main fundamental reasons into why I grew up listening to Potter Paper. Like a lot of these songs, especially back then, but they're still relatable in a way now. Like he would say some real stuff that I could relate to in it. So I'm like, nah, bruv. Every tune he makes, yeah, man will be listening to and banging it out regularly. You get me? Because I felt like, yeah, like he's very relatable to me as a person. He's gone through similar struggles and whatnot, innit? You get me? So yeah, man, big up yourself, Potter Paper, each and every time. You get me? And Margs. The next person on my list, Margs, innit? You get me, yeah? Obviously, Margs. I grew up on Margs as well. Get me? Mash Tan and that. I grew up on his tune called Brand New Problem with Tricky. How does it go again? That tune there, yeah? That tune there is cold. How can man say disrespect Tricky, I'll disrespect your program. I keep a shank in my fucking balls. I'll stab you in your back. I don't play by the fucking rules. Listen, if I recite the rest of the bars, it will get long, innit? So yeah, man, literally. So that, he had a tune back in the day with KCO called Sticky Where I Come From. That's another flipping banger. How can Mark say on that tune, this ain't a joke, I treat you like a Leah, I'll rock your boat? Do you know how detrimental that bar is to me, bruv? That bar is flipping wavy to me. And even now, I bang that tune on a regular as well, innit? So I'm going to give like Marks his flowers now, innit? Because he fully deserves it, innit? You get me? Last on the list, obviously this is not in any order, but I was just like making a list in general. But yeah, last on the list is man like Tiny Boost. And I felt like if I didn't put Tiny Boost on this list, this wouldn't be a valid list, innit? You get me? Because I was listening to Tiny Boost from PYG days, from when he was in tunes like Who You Talking To. He featured in a lot of Giggs' mixtapes like Who Said That, Hard Bodied, another quick one. Yeah, like those like tapes, innit? You get me? Those very popular tapes. Even till this day, I was even listening to a lot of these tapes that had Tiny Boost in it, and I will tell you that for free, Tiny Boost is ahead of his time. You get me? Because a lot of his music he did then is still very like, what's the word to use? It's still very relevant now, innit? You get me? Even his new tunes he's got tunes like Certified, Feels Good, Burner and the Ride. What else? Fucking yeah. He's got other tunes like Streets Back. Yeah, that's another tune. Streets Back is another like very good banger, innit? So yeah, like I feel like Tiny Boost deserves to be in this list because, like I said, like I've been listening to Tiny Boost from time, innit? You get me? From time, but obviously he went jail and that. So when he went jail, you know how it goes. You start listening to other people and that, but you're still listening to his old stuff, innit? Cool. When he came out now, he made couple bangers, went back to jail, came back out. Then ever since then, man's been listening to him again, innit? You get me? So big up yourself each and every time, Tiny Boost, innit? So yeah, these are all the artists that I grew up on. I might even do a part 2 to it. Like, who knows? But yeah, so another thing I want to add to the video before I go is like up the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to share the video on whether it will be Facebook, WhatsApp, Snapchat, Instagram, because at the end of the day, that's what helps the channel progress. Also, give me feedback in the comments of my videos, especially this one because it's a new video. Put in the comments what you would like to see in the videos. Not even just that, but like also things that I can improve, things you want to see me improve on to make the channel better as well. And also, like I said, share up the things because that will help YouTube's, you get me? It will help YouTube push my videos and it will come up in a lot of people's recommended as well. So yeah, man, it's been your boy Wits Capone and I'm out.